Chapter 219. True and False. He should have died this time. Lu Bingshuan's expression was solemn. He had seen with his own eyes that Han Luo had failed to kill this guy time and time again. It had made him lose confidence. In the huge pit on the ground, Han Luo's flesh squirmed and a girl flew out. She looked like a pocket-sized version of Han Luo. At this moment, her face was ashen and she was a little hysterical. Damn it, he destroyed my physical body. How did he escape my red lotus burial technique? As she cursed, she took out a paper figurine and prepared to hide in it for the time being. Although a cultivator's nascent soul could be considered a second life, it was still fragile. They could not stay outside without protection for a long time, or their souls would dissipate. Red lotus burial, why does it look like a mushroom instead? It doesn't look like a red lotus at all. Sanshi appeared on the ice snake and looked at the mushroom cloud that had congregated at its last moment. He was very disapproving. He did not know that Han Luo had detonated all the paper effigies that could be detonated in order to kill him. It had already exceeded her control limit, so it naturally did not appear as exquisite like a red lotus. How can you still be alive? Han Luo was not in the mood to explain. When she saw Sanshi, she was so frightened that her body trembled. She screamed in disbelief. The red lotus burial just now would even make a soul transformation cultivator's expression change. Why are you still alive? No matter how powerful it is, it's only effective if the power is unleashed. Otherwise, it will be a large firework. Sanshi smiled mockingly and did not admit that he had indeed died at the hands of this spell. How the hell did you get away? Lu Bingshuan questioned. He had personally crushed Sanshi's body just now. At that moment, he really felt that he had killed his main body. Get away, you're my enemies. Don't tell me you want me to tell you the secret technique so that you can restrain me. Sanshi pursed his lips and stomped on the ground. Boundless flames exploded. With a loud bang, the ice snake seemed to have been smashed by the sun and was broken. Following that, the ice snake broke inch by inch. Lu Bingshuan frowned. This guy's explosive power was a little strong. He could even break his spells and divine powers. His true combat strength was comparable to a nascent soul cultivator. He changed his hand seals, and the shattered ice dragon suddenly spun, forming a frost tornado that trapped Sanshi. It was as if Sanshi had become immortal again and arrived at a 3-foot freezing season. The cold wind sliced through his body like blades and he felt his bones ache from the cold. This guy is much stronger than Han Luo. Sanshi, who was submerged in the snow, evaluated in his heart. If it wasn't for the fact that he couldn't die, he would definitely have died today after being blocked by these two demons. He did not use the power of the other golden cores. It was just that the power of one golden core could not resist this terrifying freezing power. His eyebrows and hair were quickly dyed with a layer of frost. Let's die a few more times and see what this guy has up his sleeves. Sanshi calmly looked at the two figures outside the frost tornado. In the blink of an eye, they turned into icicles and were torn apart by the tornado. It had to be said that compared to Han Luo's explosion destroying his body, Lu Bingshuan's mystic ice power was actually more powerful. Han Luo stood at the side with a pale face. She stared at the shattered figure in the storm with a worried expression. He's so calm. I'm afraid we still haven't killed him this time. Indeed, Sanshi appeared behind them out of thin air. Pneumological power surged in his hand, transforming into a golden fire dragon that roared as it blasted out. Bang! The transparent ice wall blocked the fire dragon. The flames rolled in front of him, and spiderweb-like cracks appeared. A transparent ice wall had appeared around the two of them, forming a special defense barrier. Still not dead. Han Luo smiled bitterly with a helpless expression. What kind of freak is this guy? Every time we kill him, it's not his main body. She attacked more and more ruthlessly, but all she hit was this person's shell. There was no effect at all. Something's not right. Even if he knows a supreme divine power, he shouldn't be so imposing after fighting for so long. But now his aura is still at its peak. Unlike Han Luo, who was already doubting her life, Lu Bingshuan remained calm and sensed that something was wrong. You're right. If he is using the golden cicada shedding shell technique, this kind of divine ability should consume a lot of energy. Why is he still so calm after using it so many times? Han Luo's eyes flashed as she came back to her senses. Maybe you're under my illusion. Sanshi teased. These two guys were quite powerful. If they wanted to retreat, he did not have the confidence to keep them. It would be best if the two of them fought. Only then would he have a chance. Han Luo's expression changed. She glanced at Lu Bingxuan warily. Could it be that the person in front of her was not a real person and she had been fighting with Lu Bingxuan? If that was the case, it made sense. After all, her magic power was slightly weaker than the other parties. Impossible, don't be bewitched by him to fight with me. Lu Bingxuan snorted coldly. I cultivate the Nine Heavens Ice Fiend technique, which is most effective against illusions. There is no point in you spouting nonsense and bewitching people. Oh, so confident, Sanshi pursed his lips. Then kill me a few more times. Boom. The blood dragon, which was transcending its tribulation in the distance, suffered a lightning strike with an overwhelming aura. A portion of its runes were shattered by the lightning. However, after this lightning strike, the dark clouds in the sky had already dimmed, and the lightning began to dissipate. Look, this heavenly tribulation can't be fake. We were lured here by it. Lu Bingxuan looked confident. Why can't you think about how this heavenly tribulation came about? Maybe I was the one who deliberately lured you here using it. Maybe it's also a part of the illusion. Sanshi said meaningfully. Could it be that the two of you really think that numinous artifacts are so easy to refine? How many do the two of you have? Han Luo's expression changed as she gripped a hairpin in her hand tightly. This was her only numinous artifact, which was why she could easily pierce through Sanshi's head. Lu Bingxuan narrowed his eyes. He was not too sure about everything in front of him. Come on, keep killing me. Sanshi deliberately walked over at a neither fast nor slow pace. He did not even use too much nomological power this time, and restrained his physical strength. A cold glint flashed in Han Luo's eyes. The hairpin numinous artifacts emitted a cold glint as she stabbed out with all her might. Sanshi was penetrated by the special numinous artifacts and quickly died. Following that, he appeared by the side. He did not attack Han Luo directly, but instead, he killed her. Look, now you know that you are attacking air, right? You have already fallen into an illusion and cannot extricate yourselves. Illusion. Han Luo was a little stunned. Why was it like this? It clearly felt very real. HMPH, I don't believe that you would come here for no reason to remind me that this is an illusion. Lu Bingxuan opened his palm, and a blue icicle suddenly shot at Sanshi. The freezing power of this thing was even more terrifying. It actually froze Sanshi the moment it came into contact with him. This time, he was not in a hurry to shatter Sanshi. Instead, he walked in front of him and sneered. I won't kill you this time. I'll freeze you with the 10,000-year black ice spike and see if you can still revive. This guy is really smart. Sanshi was surprised. It really didn't appear out of thin air this time. Could this be his main body? Or did another one only appear after he was killed? Han Luo came to the frozen Sanshi in shock and observed him, wanting to find out the reason. At this moment, the frozen Sanshi was suddenly covered in golden divine light. Then, a hand broke through the ice and instantly reached out to grab Han Luo. Her nascent soul was grabbed out. No. Han Luo never expected Sanshi to still be able to move. With a hiss, she was crushed by the flames.